Hi everybody, it's Teel with TeelTime, Pauline Smile, and the Kippers. Today, I am bringing on, for a second appearance, Dr. Monty Lunsford. You know, he did my very first TeelTime, and I think most of you really enjoyed it because I had a lot of feedback on it, and you wrote in with questions. So today we're going to ask Monty, or Dr. Lunsford, some of the questions that you wrote in. First, I want to say something about that episode, though. Some of you got offended by the fact that I used the word vagina. I have 3 points to make. 1, it didn't embarrass Monty, and if it had, I wouldn't have launched that particular episode. 2, there's a very famous and still playing Broadway play, Emmy-winning play called The Vagina Monologues. It's still playing on Broadway, and that was made in 1999. Thirdly, if it did really bother you, I would suggest that you perhaps get that stick out of your ass as you're calling to make an appointment with a psychiatrist, because that's ridiculous. All right, but you're probably not watching this show anyway. All right, moving on. Dr. Lunsford, come on, and let's answer some of these questions. Hi. I have a lap full of kitty.
Then I will just kiss you.
Okay, that's nice. All right, how are you doing today?
I'm great.
Thank you for coming back.
No problem, you know.
No more vagina questions, but I do have some other questions
Okay.
that people wrote in and asked.
I'm curious.
Are you ready? All right, question from our friend Amy Custer Williams. Shout out to Amy. She asks, after you put someone under, do you and the other staff make fun of the patient's junk? Meaning their genitals. Yes, we know what you mean, Amy.
No, I'd say that's pretty rare. I don't think I've ever seen anyone making fun of anything like that, but
Do you comment on them at all?
usually not, unless it's something very unusual. I mean, it's just so common. We're just also deprogrammed. Probably the most common thing to comment on, if anything, is just tattoo work, usually. Tattoo work usually is interesting
Okay.
to kind of look at.
Hey, along those same lines, do you have to take out like piercings?
Oh, as much as we can, yes. If it's removable.
Do you have a lot of genital piercings? Not you. Do the
no.
patients? Do you see it?
It happens, but you know, it certainly is relatively common, especially with the younger generation. We need to remove it because it's an electrical risk. It's an electrical hazard. It can arc because we're using electrical bovies, and they can form a circuit and burn the skin.
Interesting. Okay, Amy. So no, they don't make fun of people's junk. Maybe they do it and he's just not saying so. All right. Suzanne asks, how often do people come in with foreign objects up their butts?
More common than you would think. Every ER has a certain percentage of admits in a 24-hour period, a week period. And it's probably more common at, the bigger the hospital, but it's relatively common.
And she goes on to ask, what's the weirdest thing you've had to remove?
Personally, anesthetics I was involved with, probably there was a bowling ball. Not a bowling ball.
What?
I misspoke. It was a cue ball.
A cue ball. Okay. Now that's believable. Bowling ball.
Very
That's
hard.
not believable.
The GI doctor had a very hard time getting a hold of it. It was difficult.
Because it was slippery and round. Oh my God. Didn't you say, you told me once that you removed a Christmas candle?
Christmas candle. That wasn't part of that case, but that made the rounds in the hospital as far as everyone knew about that. Yeah, Christmas candle with, various designs on the sides, ribbons, glitter.
Tell everybody what the answer is when you ask the normal answer that the patient says.
Top 2 answers. Number 1 answer, by far and away, how did that get there? I don't know. Number 2 answer, And distant answer, I fell on it.
Oh my.
People don't use those answers. Just tell the truth. We know. We know. You didn't just fall on it. That doesn't happen. Right? Okay. Moving on.
Very unlikely.
Our friend Liz Frenzel asks, has anyone ever waked up during their surgery? Does that ever happen?
Statistically, it does happen. It's very, very low. The movies and media would like to tell you otherwise because it's good fodder. But cardiopulmonary bypass and trauma are the two statistically the biggest rates of having memories. When most people say that they've woken up, it's usually not a general anesthetic. It's a monitored anesthesia care or a sedation case, like a colonoscopy. And they just likely don't have a good understanding of the different types of anesthesia, and they think that they should have been asleep. So usually that's the source of 99% of people who think they've woken up.
That makes sense.
They didn't have a general. So a general anesthetic, it's very unusual to wake up. You will not wake up.
Okay, this is good. You've never had anybody wake up on you.
Not that I have ever heard
That
of
would be
afterwards,
like such a drag.
No.
Okay, next question. This is from Poe. Hey, Carolyn Poe.
The Poe.
Are all the medical staff having sex with each other in the empty operating rooms, like on TV?
Well, of course. No, I'm kidding. Duh. No, our corporate lives have been ruined, just like everybody else's. I say that like it used to be different, but I never knew that. But no, it's sexual infractions are very serious, and no, it just doesn't happen. And if it does happen, everybody knows about it pretty much within a week because it's just so unusual.
Really? That's awesome.
Sure.
She goes on to ask, have you ever walked in on any staff while they were doing it?
No.
Have you ever walked in on any patients while they were doing it?
No, sadly, no. It's very boring in that regard.
That was a meow yawn from Bindi, if you heard that. She meows and yawns at the same time. It's so adorable. All right, next question. This is from a guy named John who wishes to remain anonymous. Is there any such thing as a penile enlargement surgery, and if so, how much does it cost?
I couldn't tell you about the cost, but I imagine it's pretty pricey. But yes, is the answer yes.
I didn't know that.
Well, it's kind of a technical answer because there are plenty of patients who have lost their ability to become erect, usually from surgery, urological surgery or something like that. And so they have implants put in, and the implants often will make them larger because the implants are...
So the implant is to give them an erection when they need one. Do they have has it happened? Do they use a little pump or something?
Yeah, it's actually a liquid-filled pump. And
really?
yeah, and
is it removable? No.
No, most. It's interesting. So it's a relatively moderate to minor surgery. It's a surgery that lasts 2 or 3 hours, and I've done plenty of them. And you basically place two long, thin, fluid-filled chambers at the base of the penis, and then it's fluid is removed from them into one chamber, and it's flaccid, and then they actually reach down below their scrotum in their perineum and activate a battery, and the fluid moves into the chambers and the erection occurs. And so it's very interesting, but you can get larger ones for your size and basically increase your size. Now, it's usually only indicated for people who have lost their function to get erect.
So there you go, John. First, John, who remains anonymous, first, you have to have the inability to have an erection.
I have a small
And then you
story.
can have the surgery.
So at my facility, which shall remain nameless, we had a case of an implant canceled not once but twice. Why? Our implants weren't large enough for the man.
Like he didn't think they were large enough, or the man was so large you're...
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah,
So how large is that? How large is that large?
I wasn't involved with those particular cases, but it was notable. Everyone knew about those cases.
What are we talking, 10 inches?
I don't
Are we
know.
flaccid? Are we talking 12?
Just let your imagination go wild.
Okay. I'll say 10 and a half. That's something. Okay. Finally. Sandy Tomlinson, George Saperstein's mother, wrote in. Sandy wants to know. And this is a normal question. It's a very sweet question. What is the most miraculous thing you've ever witnessed in the operating room?
Let's see. That's a good question. In the operating room, man. Well, I'd have to say that of all the types of surgeries that I've done, probably the most amazing ones are liver transplants. And I did one a week ago, and I did one a month or two ago. And it's just remarkable to see those go into deserving people, and to know that they're going to pretty much have a reversal in their misfortune. But other types of surgeries, miraculous types of surgeries, I don't know. Those are other ones are Parkinson's patients, where we implant electrodes in their brain to help them control their tremors. Often they're controlled immediately upon wake up with they'll test the device.
And it works.
And it works. And
it's...
usually they have a resting tremor like this that's uncontrollable, and then immediately it smooths out like this. It's pretty amazing.
That's wonderful.
And then it gets titrated in the clinic, a couple weeks
that's
later.
wonderful.
But those are pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
But anyhow, those are pretty cool.
Okay. What else? So, is there anything you would like to add, Dr. Lunsford? What do you think about the polio virus being used for
That's pretty
brain
remarkable.
cancer?
That's pretty remarkable.
Have y'all seen that? Look it up.
I spent some time in the UT Southwestern cancer clinic, because I at one time wanted to be a neurosurgeon. And the glioblastoma patients in the clinics typically are, they have a really rough road ahead of them, and a lot of them have high mortality, and they don't tend to live very long. So it's giving this subselect group of cancer patients who have one of the worst brain cancers around, it's giving them a lot of hope. It's pretty amazing.
It is
Pretty
amazing.
neat.
It was on 60 Minutes, you guys, not too long ago, so you can look it up.
Yeah, some really good numbers are coming out of those patients.
Yes, I think that's amazing.
So-
You're so nice to join me again. Thanks for writing in, everybody. Those were fun questions. The only thing I have to add is these are my shoes. Mew Mew shoes, aren't they cute? They're so weird. So I've got these on, rag and bone jeans, Barney's little top, Native American jewelry Dr. Lunsford bought me in Arizona. Did you see that? I cleaned it. Doesn't it look good? And 2 kitties. And of course, always drink Patron, everybody. My future sponsor here, Patron Tequila. Silver's my favorite. To you, and healing people, and loving people. Thanks, you guys. Next time on TeelTime. Bye.